Hi, this is Trey Passer, and welcome to the Horoscope 101 channel. I'm Trey Passer, of course, and it's Saturday, so it's my day. And this week on the Horoscope 101 channel, we'll be reviewing Japanese and American remakes of Japanese horror movies. And the movie that I chose to review for this week is 2005's Dark Water, starring Jennifer Connelly. Okay, this is, of course, a remake of the same name Japanese horror movie that came out in 2002. Now, I've seen only parts of the Japanese remake. I only saw it from towards the end of the movie because I think they had it on cable. One day they had these movies back to back, and I saw the end of that, and then this version, which I saw from beginning to end. Okay, so this is the movie that I watched on Wednesday. Okay, and this movie, of course, stars Jennifer Connelly, John C. Reilly, Tim Roth, Douglas Scott, and Ariel Gade. This is movies about young mother named Dahlia, played by Jennifer Connelly. She's going through a bitter divorce from her husband, Kyle, played by Douglas Scott. And they have a young daughter named Cece, played by Ariel Gade. And they're, like I said, they're going through a bitter divorce. Jennifer Connelly's character, Dahlia, has primary custody of her daughter, Cece, but her husband, is trying to fight her for the custody of the kid because Dahlia has issues. They even show in flashback in the beginning of the movie. She has issues. Her mother basically abandoned her as a young child. Okay, so she's trying to hold on tight to her young daughter, Cece. You can tell from the movie that she's trying to hold on and be, of course, a better mother than her mother was to her. Okay, but her husband, like I said, is fighting her all the way, because she has, like I said, the abandonment issues, and of course, she has these severe migraine headaches and stuff. But she's trying to, struggle on and survive, and she's looking for a place to live now that she's, divorcing her husband. So the only place she can afford is on Roosevelt Island in this depressing building. Okay, but that's the only building she can afford. Okay, so she moves in with her daughter, Cece, of course, and then weird things start to happen. Okay, first of all, there's a leak that starts to come from her. Once they move in, there's a leak that starts to come from the apartment above her. Okay, and in the course of investigating it, she goes up to the apartment above her, and what she finds out, the apartment above her has been abandoned, and all the faucets have been turned on, the bathroom, the toilet, the kitchen sink, everything. So she turns everything off, and then on her way out, she sees a picture of the family that used to live there, a young Russian couple, the mother, the father, and a young daughter named Natasha. Okay, and a super fixes the leak, but then more weird things start to happen. First of all, her young daughter Cece starts to talk to this imaginary friend that she has. Okay, and then she starts acting out in school, of course, and Dahlia's trying to deal with that, of course, and her husband, she's trying to fight off her husband, who's trying, like I said, to sue her for custody of the daughter, and also weird things start happening around the building, like she goes to wash clothes, and all of a sudden she sees weird things, and the laundromat gets flooded, and it's just all these weird circumstances that happen, and she's basically, Dahlia's trying to hold it together. She's, like I said, she's a single mother, and she's trying to hold it together, like I said, fighting her husband, and then all these weird things that are happening around the apartment, and it's a depressing, the whole atmosphere of this movie is kind of depressing because it's raining a lot of the time, and then you have, of course, the issue with the drip from the ceiling, and then you have the water from the apartment above her, and the water from the basement. Just, I guess, dark water can be literally the dark water that she has to experience, and then figuratively, well, literally the dark water, then figuratively, it's she's fighting her husband off, and then all these weird things start to happen, and she's trying to hold it together. Her daughter's like acting out, seeing these weird having this weird imaginary friend, and then, like I said, all these weird things start to happen, and she's barely trying to hold it together. Okay, and this movie is really good. I really enjoy, especially I love Jennifer Connelly's performance in this. She was really good. You really feel for her. Like I said, she's barely trying to hold it together and trying to be the best mother she can to her daughter Cece, and she doesn't want of course, her daughter to experience what she experienced with her mother abandoning her. So she's trying to be the best mother she can be, and her daughter's acting out, and she's trying to find out why her daughter's acting out, and then, like I said, she starts to see these weird things in her apartment and stuff, and without spoiling it, it's a really good good, really good drama, horror, thriller. It's just really good, and I love, like I said, the performance of Jennifer Connelly. I thought she was excellent, and the young actress who plays her daughter, Cece, Ariel Gade. I think they have a great chemistry as mother-daughter in this movie, and Dougray Scott plays her husband. He's a real dick. You know, his character's a real dick, and he really acts the part. And then you have John Rowley. He plays like the landlord, Mr. Murray, and then Tim Roth plays a lawyer for Dahlia and stuff, who's trying to advise her on how to, you know, keep custody of her daughter. And it's, like I said, it's a really good drama. You have the drama of the, you know, the fighting her husband and stuff, and then you have the horror about all the weird things that are happening in that building and stuff, and her trying to, you know, basically her trying to stay sane and stuff, and help her daughter and be the best mother she can be. And I absolutely love Jennifer Connelly, and I thought she was great. And like I said, I know a lot of people reading about this movie. A lot of people like the Japanese version better, and I haven't seen it, so I can't really judge. But I really did like this American remake of Dark Water. I thought it was excellent. Like I said, it's just a really heartfelt movie, and the ending of this movie really got to me. And you got to be a stone cold, have a stone heart to me if you see the ending of this movie and not be affected by it. I just thought this movie was really good. I thought Jennifer Connelly was great. The young daughter was excellent. Like I said, you love the mother-daughter chemistry between them. Okay, like I said, the movie is sort of depressing when you watch it because, like I said, it's raining for most of the movie. It's raining, and then you have the water from the leak and stuff, and the mother, you know, Jennifer Connelly's having these migraines. Her character's having these migraines, and she's trying to hold it together. And then her daughter starts acting out, and she's trying to, like I said, be the best person it can be. And then all these weird things start to happen to her, so she's barely hanging on. And it's just a really good. And then, like I said, the mystery, which I don't want to spoil, is really good in this, I thought. And the mystery and horror of this is really good. And that's why I don't want to spoil it. Let you experience it yourself to see what the horror aspect of this is. Okay? And like I said, I think also this movie is basically about mothers and daughters. I think that's the key thing in this movie is mothers and daughters in their relationships with each other. You know, from Dahlia and her relationship with her mother, from Dahlia and her relationship with her daughter Cece, and then something else which I don't want to spoil. Okay, but I think that's the gist of this movie: mothers and daughters and their relationships, and it's a really good emotional movie. And I love, like I said, I love Jennifer Connelly's performance in this, and I definitely highly recommend it. So definitely check this movie out. It's definitely worth seeing, and I'll probably get the Japanese one just to compare it. But I really like this movie. Okay, so that's it for me. Tomorrow on Horoscope 101 channel, it'll be Sunday, so it'll be Kayla Jarrett's day. Okay, and I believe next week on the Horoscope 101 channel is going to be The Evil Dead, since in honor of the movie coming out on April 5th. We'll be reviewing the Evil Dead movies. I think we get to pick which one of the three that we pick, okay, for the Evil Dead, and then we do our reviews of that. So I think that's going to be next up on the Horoscope 101 channel. And of course, on my channel, okay, which I'll leave a link to somewhere in here, I do Blu-ray updates, movie reviews, Trade Pastor Saturday reviews, contests, trailer reactions and stuff, and comic book updates. Okay, so you can check my channel out and give it a listen, and definitely sub to Horoscope 101 channel. Great bunch of guys and girls on this channel. Okay, and let me know what you think of Dark Water, if you've seen it or not, and feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trey Passer for the Horoscope 101 channel, saying so long and take care.